I was dabbling in pimping.
The Who Do You Think You Are podcast is sponsored by Good Trip Inc. It's a super dope gallery with a super dope artist that owns it. Black owned, 416 South McDowell Street, downtown Raleigh. Y'all come through, check him out. Tell him that SP the Writer sent you.
Good Trip Tattoo and Art. My passion is creating art, and there's no better feeling than seeing a happy client.
So, welcome to the episode. This is one of the first ones that we're doing. After 3 years, it finally got rolling, but better late than never, and that's your first gym right there. I'm SP, I'm your host here today. And I'm just a poet, but people want to know, who do you think you are?
I'm one of the illest photographers, videographers you're going to see out here on the come up right now, man. My name is Writer El Dattio Cobb, and I'm here ready to do the damn thing, man. Just just have some fun with it.
So where does El Dattio come from? Because that's what I've been I just heard, Craft Diva, Nietzsche.
Yeah, right.
She said Rasheen, I don't know, maybe a few months ago, and I was like, who?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know my real name. Like, even in the street, my name in the street is Rock. Okay. So where I'm from Brooklyn. So everybody in Brooklyn, when they call me, they call me Rock. So I changed my name up a lot, man. I do it purposely.
Rocks?
Huh? No. Y'all never sold drugs, man.
Me either.
Man, I feel like all my friends, I left that to my friends, few family members, but hey, it wasn't my thing, man.
So all right, so we're going to get to El Dattio.
All right.
Where did Rock come from?
My mother.
Okay.
So my mother and father, really, and it was just one of those things they call you around the house. Gotcha. So it was just rock. Then being hard-headed, being tough in the street. You know what I mean? So a lot of people just stuck. Everybody around there from Brownsville, they know me as Rock, man.
Okay, so then where did El Dattio wind up coming in at?
All right, so El Dattio is a story because
Tell me, we here.
I really haven't told this story to really nobody, really.
I love the exclusive.
Yeah, man. So only like 2 people know this story. All right, so I was riding around. This was 2006. I'll never forget. I was riding around my car late night. And 2006 was probably one of the worst years of my life. I don't want to start off like that, but
no, we good. I'm already ready to sit up. That's what we have.
But I was trying to get money. Okay. So I'm riding around in my car. I'm like, y'all need to change my name because a lot of people know me for who I am. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna create something that nobody know. I'm just riding and just pop El Dattio. And at the time, I made it because I was dabbling in pimping. So I figure if I create a name nobody know, they might think I'm some Mexican dude or Hispanic guy, right. And it'll be hard for me to get caught. So if everything ever come down like that, it'll be hard for me to track down. I can shut down and move on. But it kind of stuck. And then people just started calling me that, it just started happening. I remember I was working at a car dealership. You know, when you sell a car, you write your name on the board, the car you sold. So I said, man, forget all this, man. El Dattio. And my manager was just like, he paged me to the office. He was like, El Dattio, to the office, please. So I come up to the office, and he was just like, you're El Dattio? He was just like, yeah. He was just like, I like to switch up. I was just like, really? I was like, cool. Just stuck. Figure it's fun to play with.
Were you listening to Mexican music? Were you eating?
Not at all. Dog, when I tell you that name popped up out of nowhere, just random. And I was just like, I'm going to see how it worked. You know, if I don't like it in the street, I just switch it up. But I took that as a opportunity to build on. Right. You know what? So I said, I was going through a rough time in my life at the time. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to use this name for a positive. And I didn't do the pimp thing too long because that's not my thing either. I tried it. I was like trying something. Need some bread real quick. But I was just like, you know what? Put that to the side and use the name on. I started doing photography more at the time and shooting videos a little bit more. And I was like, I'm going to use this name for a positive, make it stand for something better.
Gotcha. All right. So did you grow up in Brooklyn?
Yeah, born and raised.
Born and raised in Brooklyn.
Born and raised.
How old were you when you left Brooklyn?
18.
Okay.
After I graduated high school. Once I graduated, I moved to New Jersey.
What part?
Oh, shit. I lived all over Jersey, but I lived in Carteret for a while. But I lived everywhere. I lived in Matawan. I lived in North Brunswick, New Brunswick, Piscataway, all around here. I bounced around.
'Cause I got family
West
up in,
Orange.
East
Orange. I still got family. Yep.
Chi, the co-host for my last joint, she live in Newark.
Really? She still live there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got cousins all up in that area.
Yeah, man. I still got brothers and sisters up there, man. East Orange. Yep. Newark.
So, because I've been to Brooklyn before it started kind of transitioning.
Right.
I was scared because all I could remember was, everything that Jay-Z and
Dog.
Biggie said about Brooklyn.
Dog.
And my man's house that I went to at the time, I remember we had left AC
Mm.
and it was late. And we were supposed to get to his house in Brooklyn and then slide over to Manhattan because these girls had a party or whatever.
Right.
And so we went and grabbed some food real quick from White Castle, which is the nastiest stuff ever.
No, we love that.
I know y'all. I almost got killed saying White Castle.
Yo, nah, that 2-3 o'clock in the morning, man, that White Castle is that's like Waffle House out here. You know what I'm saying?
Like Waffle
See.
But we was getting to his crib. He was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna let you know I got roaches."
Oh man, at least he gave you the heads up.
But he did, but he didn't. Because he just said it all cavalier.
Right.
So when I get in there, the first.
Oh, as soon as you get up in there,
it was crazy. So my experience with Brooklyn.
it's tough.
But yeah, you know what I mean? And at the time, we was too tired. We didn't go to the party. I'm like, yo, I ain't had no... I had the bread to get a hotel room, but I ain't want to spend it.
Right. I got you.
I knew I couldn't sleep in my car in Brooklyn.
Hell nah. Hell nah.
So I guess my view of Brooklyn is probably either off or skewed from someone who grew up there. So, like, how was growing up in Brooklyn, New York?
Bro, I grew up in Brooklyn. Brooklyn was Brooklyn, bro. Like, abandoned. When I walked out I lived in a project, so when I walked out the building, you got abandoned buildings here, you got the liquor store here, you got people rolling dice, you got people selling drugs, you got, it just was, Brownsville was the worst part of Brooklyn, period. That's where Mike Tyson from, Zab Judah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all from that same area, boot camp clique, you know what I'm saying? And it was MOP, that's, they actually from they from my block, man, it's crazy. But it's just, that's what you've seen. It was just so tough growing up there. And in Brownsville, we got a thing like you have to know how to fight, bro. Right. You gotta know how to fight coming from Brownsville because it's like that's like the toughest. It was like the thing to do. Right. And back then, people had guns and stuff, but whenever we settled something, it was fighting. Right. It's fighting. Like you get your people or whatever. And if it's if it's a fair one, everybody stand, you get your fair one going and you move on. Right. And if y'all cool afterwards, If not, that's what it was.
So all right. So you grew up in the projects in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So school. Let's talk about elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a good student? Were you sidetracked from things that were around you? Like how did that evolution through grade school, getting into middle school, and then high school? Like, was there any chop up there?
That's a good question, man. It's a few chop ups. So. Man, in pre-K.
Oh, I took it all the way back. 4 years.
Yeah, I remember how it kind of started. I'll never forget this. I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. I still remember this clearly. I had a fake cap gun, and it looked real. It was black. Okay. Right? I think my uncle got it from me or something like that. And I was like, I hid it from my mom, so she didn't want me to play with no cap guns. You know what I mean? Especially in the hood. And I'll never forget. This is my environment. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm 4 or 5 years old, and this is what I'm thinking. I snuck my cap gun to school, and I'm running around flashing it on kids, like, I'll shoot you, da-da-da-da-da-da. Teacher called my mom. I'll never forget, boy, my mom came up to that school and lit me up. But it's just like, that was my environment. That's what I seen. So to be at such a young age picking that up, I'm like, man, what the hell am I doing? But yeah, I got sidetracked with a bunch of stuff, man. Like I said, I never sold drugs or anything, but that wasn't my thing. My thing was like, I sold everything else. It was so weird. Because it was like, I would sit up there, my dad would teach me to go out there and get it, period. But do it in a way where you're not going to get in trouble for it. So I would go to BJ's, buy the big boxes of M&Ms and Reese's and candies, and I go to my school and sell them for $1. That was like a $12 profit per box. So, and they'll be gone in one period. I'll stand in the middle of the hallway, lunchtime.
So you was Gary V in it early. Okay.
I was doing that just to get some dollars, but even when I was 7, 8 years old, like I said, I know how to draw. That's why I love this. This is perfect. I would draw characters, right? I still got these pictures to this day because I made copies. My sister worked at like this office, so she would make copies for me, and I would sell them 25 cents, $1. If you want a color picture, it's $1. If you want a black and white, it's 25 cents. If you want a special request, it was $1.50. So I always made sure I had a way to make money. There was no excuse. My dad put that in me. There's no excuse not to go get it.
What were you doing with your money as a 6-year-old?
Buying candy, man. You know, Swiss rolls. Like I was buying Swiss rolls, honey buns, potato chips, Bon-Ton, barbecue.
And this is freshly jumped.
Oh man, I was donut sticks. Yeah, so I used to be in school, and this is just me coming to junior high school or whatever the case may be, just doing stuff. And then in high school, that's when I started to buy, kicks, Cool G's. You know what I'm saying? So
you was a fresh kid.
I was fresh enough because let's say if I would have a Cool G. That Cool G, I would rock that probably like once a month. You can't wear that all the time because now people will be like, so I would have something that's super fly, but then I'll wear something that's like South Pole.
Right.
Because me, I didn't care about brands. It was like if I like it and it's dope to me, I'm buying it. I don't care if it's $2 or $200. Right. My dad put that in me too. He was just like, if you like it, go get it.
And that's how I am. I just got I got a jacket just the other day from Goodwill. I stay in Goodwill.
Right.
And it still had a tag on it, $7.
Fresh.
You know what I mean? Put it on. Like, oh man, I love your tag. I'm like, yo, I appreciate it.
Dog, it's crazy. You know what's so crazy too? I have a jacket as well. I probably paid $20 for it. People think I spent $300-$400 on this jacket, and I spent $20. I'm like, bro, it's the person in the jacket. Like, because you automatically think that I'm spending this certain amount. I'm like, nah. Some clothes I do spend that much on, but dog, if I'm out and about and I see something I genuinely like, I'm just gonna buy it. I don't care if it's like if it's $2 or $5 or whatever.
All right. So getting into high school, you still selling things, you still working with your art a little bit more. Still in Brooklyn.
Still in Brooklyn.
So still in that environment. Were you into sports?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Basketball. Okay, so you a hooper too?
Yeah, I play ball, man. Basketball is my sport.
Hooper? Like
I could have been.
I
could have been.
You was like my guy Arnett. Shout out to Arnett. I know he ain't listening.
Man, listen, I love basketball, and I felt like I dropped the ball on that because I had uncles that played college ball and some that almost made it to the NBA, and so we always played basketball. This was our thing. My nephew, shout out to my nephew Jaquan, he killing it right now. Like he got a full scholarship to play ball, and he's really nice. He's FNU. That's in Miami. But he's really good. So I'm glad to see him take it and move forward with it. But yeah, I got distracted. Girls, you know what I mean? Getting a couple dollars now. I'm like, oh, I'm selling stuff. Oh, I got some money. And I also had a job. So I had in high school, I had 2 jobs. I was hustling on the side, taking college classes, and I was an artist for Times Square. All in high school, age of 15.
Okay, so all right, so let's back up for a second then. So you got this environment that you're in. You're in pre-K, run around with the cap gun.
Yeah, with the cap gun.
Then you get into learning how to make some money based off of your skill with art, based off of just kind of your dad teaching you, like, look, this is how you get certain things.
Right.
Where was there, or was it always there, a transition where you was kind of like, okay, I need to do I need to take some college classes while I'm in high school. I need to also work a job while I'm in high school. That kind of clicked. Was there something that you was thinking about for the future, or were you just kind of in the moment where something your dad taught you?
I knew I had to make a transition if I wanted to be anything. And me, like I said, I had a bunch of friends. I still got all my homies in the projects and everything. So being around them, I think that the switch was me going to school in Manhattan. So in high school. So that's when I was in 9th grade when I was 14. So I had a choice. So New York is different. You get to choose which high school you want to go to. Well, it used to be. They give you this big book, choose the high school you want to take with your major in, and you go from there. It's kind of like college. So I choose to go to my high school, graphic arts. I can draw. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take up art because that's what I love to do. And it helped me because in that, I seen the difference from my friends going to school in Brooklyn and me going to school in Manhattan. The benefit of me going to school in Manhattan, I was around a bunch of cultures. You got white, black, Indian, Hispanic, Dominican. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's Hispanic too, but that's like, you have culture. And then you got people from every borough. I got people from Queens, Staten Island, like everybody. So I was able to mingle and travel throughout New York where all my friends were to see, oh, it's different stuff out here. But that was the transition, and then it helped me in a way because the teachers were pretty cool with it. And I ain't gonna front, I had my way with a lot of the teachers, man, because I was good. I was good with the gangsters. I was good with the nerds, and I was just me at the end of the day. So I was cool with everybody. I would cut class and chill with the security guard, and they wouldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? They just knew like, I know you're gonna pass, you're gonna be good, and yada yada yada, whatever you do. But yeah, the transition was definitely that, and like, I had the opportunity to be an artist for Times Square when I was 15, 16 years old. And that was the year 2000, and that was pretty big for me because that work got me in the newspaper, the New York Times.
What was it? What did you do?
We were painting newsstands. Okay. And I never forget this, man. This is why I tell a lot of people to pursue your dream the way you want to pursue it. Right. And some people don't see your vision. Right. And I had the opportunity to get the job to work for Times Square. They came to my school because I had some great grades. Right. So they was like, all right, the top artists is in the school. We're going to see what they doing. So I got interviewed. The lady interviewed me. And she was like, bet, I want you to be an artist, bringing in new millennium, year 2000. The ball going to be dropping, and your artwork's going to be right where the ball is dropping. So
everything's going to stop because of Y2K.
Right. So I was just like, all right, cool. So they, out of the whole New York, they picked 4 of us. Okay. And I'll never forget this, man. I was so excited. I was like, yo, I came home. I'm like, yo, Mom, guess what? I was working at McDonald's at the time, too, also, on Times Square. So the building was, like, beside each other, so it was perfect for me. Right. So I was just like, I don't got to miss nothing. And my school was a few blocks down, so everything was right there. And I never forget, man, my mom, I told her I had a new job, and I'm getting paid way more than McDonald's. Right. I'm 15, 16 years old, so imagine getting $400 or $500 a week when you're 15, 16 years old. That's big. So I'm just like, okay. And she was like, you better not quit that McDonald's job, boy. You better stay there. Security. That's what she's thinking, but I don't blame her because that's her mentality coming up in the South. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, she's not seeing, even though she know I can draw really good, she's not seeing, right. She thinking it's just a hobby, but she's not thinking I could take this to the next level. So, dog, I ain't gonna front. I lied to her. So I was just like, nah. So she didn't want me to take the job. She was like, it's gonna interfere with McDonald's and yada. I was like, what? I was just like, what do you mean? Yo, crazy, bro. So I was just like, I lied to her, man. This is the first time I lied to my mom like that. I was just like, she know now that you lied? Yeah, I told her. So, but this is how she found out. So I was telling her I was in basketball practice. My mom never went to Manhattan. She was not a city girl. So if she's in Brooklyn, she's not taking the train to Manhattan. She's not driving to Manhattan. So I knew she wasn't coming to Manhattan. So I go, you know what, Mom? Yeah, I got basketball practice after school. So I'm doing basketball, acting like I'm doing basketball practice while I was really painting and following my dream, right? Right. So I didn't know we were going to be in the newspaper. I had no clue. See what I'm saying? So then when they came down and interviewed us, if you go, they're still out there to this day. So when they came to us, interviewed us, I had a whole section. They talk about where I'm from, what I'm doing, how I work at McDonald's, how I'm taking college classes, everything, right? Newspaper came out that Sunday. I'm like, yo, I'm in the newspaper, bro. So I sat up there. I said, Mom, I'm going to the store real quick. You want something? It was Sunday. I never forget. It was Sunday morning. No, I'm good. All right, cool. We got something. No, she was, I think, bread or milk or something, but that doesn't matter. So I picked up the newspaper. I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, yeah. I can't wait to drop this on as soon as I get back to the house. So I come back. I said, Mom, I got something to tell you. She was like, what's up? Drop the newspaper on her. Boom. She opens it up. Oh, my baby. I was like, Mom, I'm sorry I lied to you, but I felt this, and I knew I had to go forward with this. This has been my passion since I was 3 years old.
What was her response?
I think she was just like, her actual response, well, she was excited. And then she was like, I understand. But why you didn't have to do it like that? I was like, I had to, because you wasn't trying to hear me. You didn't hear me. You was like, you better stay at McDonald's. I was like, I stayed. So I did all of that. I kept McDonald's, did that, and went to high school and college all at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
15 years old.
Wow. So what was your dad like? Was he around still?
My dad supported, my mom supported me too a lot. But my dad, he was more open-minded when it came to things, and I would go to work with him. My dad was a truck driver, and he did construction. Excuse me. So then he was just, what he would do is, let's say I would ride the truck with him, and I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. Like, he'll take me on the truck, and we'll ride around all day, help him out. So now the older I got, he's teaching me more and more and more. He's like, when you work hard for something, spend some money on yourself, no matter what it costs. And I'll never forget one time we did a job, we did all the deliveries. He used to take me to the comic book store all the time, or the art store, to buy me my stuff. Like, whatever I wanted, you need art supplies, you need paper, you need books, you need whatever, he got me, right? So now I'm starting to make money with him, but I'm trying to hold on to it. He's like, you got what you needed? I was just like, nah. I'm too cool. Nah, I ain't getting nothing this time. I'm holding on to it, I'm saving it. He was like, okay, I see what you're doing. He was like, what you saving it for? So I told him, I'm trying to get this book, blah, blah, blah. He said, let me tell you something, man. If you're working that hard, spend it. You want to spend $300-$400 on a meal? Spend it. Why? You can't take it with you. He said,
I struggle with that even to this day.
bro, I ain't gonna tell you, I ain't gonna hold you. This was one thing that stuck with me to this day. Every time I think where I need to stop and don't do it, I do it. Calculated.
Right.
But sometimes you got to stop, because same person, like, not same person, but somebody else told me before, when I was getting into videography,
Right.
I was ready to go buy a camera. Camera was $3,500 at the time.
Right.
And the person was like, why would you spend $3,500? You're just going to blow the money just like that. Why would you do that? So many bills we could pay right now. Now look. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I'm okay with investing my money.
Right.
But when it comes to, like, I bought a pair of sneakers the other day. It was like it came to like $107. I got $107. But I promise you, I was just like,
It hurts.
Like, normally if I go get some sneakers, it's gonna be, I'm gonna find some like joints on sale for like 40, maybe.
Right. 75 screaming.
And I really want. I remember one time I seen these sneakers and they was like $39.99. It was in Marshall, but they were, it was ready somebody to kick around in. I get to the counter and she was like, "Nah, these are actually 40." And I was like, "Nah, put them back. $10 more."
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, and my homeboy Willie, he's like that. He's like, "Yo, you always got to like treat yourself, man. You work hard, bro." Like, and I've started to do it a little bit more, but I've been able to kind of do it, treat myself with my show.
Right.
So
Right.
I get that same kind of gratification from it. But I struggle with that, man. Like,
It's tough, man. I get it. Like, I don't do it all the time,
right.
but I think I've been doing it a little bit more now since this pandemic started. And I lost some friends. So now it's like, man, I need to enjoy every moment while I can, bro. Because, like, and it goes back to my dad with him saying that, like, live your life, live it, because you know what? Can't take it with you. Can't take the money with you. Can't take this with you.
True.
But you gotta invest.
Yeah.
Always be smart about the investment. Because look, that camera that person told me don't get, that took me around the United States traveling with it. And to this day, that was over 10 years ago.
And I asked you, so when did you first get the camera? When did you pick up a camera to start shooting?
2010.
2010.
So when I was doing music at the time, and we started a new group called the Diamond Boys.
Okay.
So I always played around with music. Even in high school, I always played around music, mixtapes, all types of stuff. Performed all over the place. So 2010, my boy made a group, and we all put a group together. Some people he knows, some people I knew, and he was like, "Bet we gonna make this hip hop group and start doing it, start taking it serious."
Right.
So we start to catch some traction. I'm like, "Oh shit, we actually catch the traction. We getting booked for places." I'm like, "Oh snap, we doing something, right?" So now like, we go into video shoots, and I'm seeing people in the video shoots, and I'm like, "I could do this, yo.
Right.
I could do this." I had some money saved. Like I said, I was working at a car dealership at the time. I'm 20-some years old, making over $100,000 easy. That's on the books. So that's without, you know what I'm saying? Everything else I was doing. So I was just like, damn. I said, you know what? So I had some money stacked up. I got tired of performing, and everybody's telling me how great we were. I quit my job. Just walked out. I was just like, yo, I'm done. It's a wrap. Walked out my job, and I said, I'm gonna take this serious full time. And I invested. First set of cameras I got, I invested $10,000. I said, I'm gonna take 10 grand, buy some cameras, buy all the equipment I need, a couple lights, and I'm gonna study this so we can make some pretty decent music videos.
That's a bar. Study this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna go do this, but then they not ready to really put that grind to it, which also includes the studying portion.
Study part, bro.
Whatever your craft is.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of people have gifts.
Yeah.
And because they're gifted, they'll be like, oh, I ain't gotta do nothing else. But
right.
I remember hearing Kobe was saying he knew he was gifted, but he wanted to maximize.
You gotta tap in
his gift and that's why he was better than Tracy McGrady.
Yep.
That's why, and not Tracy McGrady because he was a monster, but Kobe really fell in love with the studying portion of everything and became one of the greatest we've ever seen.
And you know what's so crazy? I'm in that level of my life right now where I feel like I'm tapping into a part. I just had this conversation the other day. It's so wild that you talk about this. So I'm just like, I feel like I don't even know my limit yet. And I feel like I haven't even tapped into what I could really do because I'm like, my ideas run all the time. I see things different. Even like you said, Kobe said, as a kid, I knew I was different. Everything I did, I was able to do on a high level. Right. Drawing, it took me nothing I could make something real quick and it's easy to me. Right. Writing, hip hop, when I was doing shows, killing it. Photography, I'm tapping in now more to the photography, killing it. So I'm just like, what else can I do? Acting, I've done acting, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what else can I really do if I take the time and really start tapping into everything? And I was just telling my friend the other day, like, yo, it's tools. I have tools. We don't utilize our tools the way we need to utilize our tools. We think our talent, we got a little talent. We think our talent can just take us over the top, which in some cases it happen. But just imagine if we really sit down and tap in. You got to tap in.
So let me ask you this. So you said something that stuck out to me just a second ago, and you said you haven't realized what your potential is. You're like, how far can you actually go? Does that scare you, or does that excite you, or both?
Both. Because it's exciting to know this ain't it. Right. It's exciting to know what else. Hey, what else can I do now? Right. But then it's scary, like what you're gonna do when you make it. You know what I'm saying? When it get to that level, how much are things gonna intensify? Right. You know, and will I be able to handle it? I think I can. You know, I've been around enough to know right now, like, I think I'll be able to move around the way I need to move around. Right. But at the same time, and it's, like I said, it's exciting to think, like, you know what, you haven't reached your potential yet. Right. And I'm curious to find out where it's going to go.
Gotcha. I know we was at dinner last night for my sister's birthday, and one of my little cousins, he was talking about how he wants to, like, do more, you know what I'm saying? But he don't really know what he want to do. But then he started talking about the fear of failure.
That could get in your way all the time.
Do you have a fear of failure, or do you have more of a fear of success, or is it no fear in either one of those per se?
I used to fear failure at one point in my life. This was probably my early 20s. Okay. Early 20s, because that's around that time I was going through the roughest part of my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And what got me out of it And like I said, I like watching documentaries. I study on our people as much as I can. I study the greats, what they do to push forward. Key is just do something. That's gonna help you, period. You can sit and think as much as you want. Write down as many notes as much as you want. But until that action kick into play, action.
That's the same. And I'm gonna show my cousin this, because that's the exact same thing. I said, yo, write down all the things that you're good at and all the things that you like to do, and just literally start doing
Yep.
those things.
Just start doing it. Action. So, like, let's say, like, when I used to do music, right? And you would catch a writer's block.
Right.
People are like, oh my God, be in the studio, everybody like, damn, I can't think of nothing. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Write about the writer's block.
Right.
That's what you're struggling with right now. Write about it.
Because then you're writing.
Then you're writing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And as you talk about the writer's block, it'll open up other things to talk about as you go along. But the key is the action to do it. And once you start doing it, and just like photography and film, and you feel like you stuck, go outside. Like everything to me every day is a movie. Because everything I see, the cars, the birds flying, this could be a poster for something, these trees sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? But it's just take pictures of it and see what you come up with. You know what I mean? Just the action to start anything. That's the hardest thing, starting. Once you get the ball rolling, you good.
Yeah, it's crazy, because I talk, had these types of conversations with people all the time, and people now will ask my opinion of certain things because they see me, doing shows and things of that nature. And I'm always like, I literally, when I started Inspired, it was like, I want to do Inspired. And I know me, because I'm a hard worker, but I'm really lazy for real.
I got you. I feel you.
Because if I get in my lazy mode, I'm a chilling at it.
Right. Hard.
But when I say, all right, it's time, and I flip the switch, it's a wrap.
It's on.
And so for me, I knew I couldn't sit on that idea. And so I literally got up and got a pen and paper.
Dope.
And started writing down, and within an hour, I was on the phone with a friend.
See that?
And so that was the action voice. Because I knew for me, if I took that step and made that action and started making phone calls to venues and setting up meetings, then I'm good.
Right.
Because then I'm not going to not show up for the meeting. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
I think a lot of people get stuck there, and I'm still trying to figure out, because you could tell somebody, hey, look, you gotta act, you gotta take action, you gotta take action.
Right.
But there's something that's within a lot of people that has them paralyzed. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it that I can do or say, if anything, that can actually get people out of that paralyzed spot. Because most people, it happens simultaneously.
Right.
And, well, not simultaneously, that's the wrong word, but spontaneously. It happens. And then they just, oh man, this one day I woke up and I was good to go.
But look what you just said, though. You can teach and tell somebody as much as you want.
Right.
They ain't gonna do it until they ready. They have to be ready. They have to have that in them that's like, I'm gonna get up today.
Right.
You can preach to them every day for 365 days. But until that one day they say, okay, today's the day I'm gonna get up and start, they gotta want it. They have to want it. Deep down inside, you have to want it. That's where it all starts from.
So how does someone, or how did you get to the point where you were like, I want it?
I just want it to be, I think it's just always been in me. Everything I did, I always pushed for extra, period. But I'm gonna talk about my like current experiences now. Like, I always felt like with video, I was really nice with the video ever since I started. So I was just like, okay, but people don't know, I have over 1,000 DVDs, right? And people always come around, I was like, damn, bro, your collection's stupid. After the movie, I watched the credits, I watched behind the scenes.
You do what I do.
That's it. I watch behind the scenes, and I'm like, oh, this is what they do. This is how they lighten the setup. This is how the color is done. This is how, okay, cool. And what really, I'm gonna tell you what really set it off for me, and this goes back to that camera. I was watching Iron Man 2.
Okay.
2 or 3 is one of them. I think it's 3. And they was talking about this Canon camera that I was looking to get.
Right.
They shot some of that movie with that Canon camera, the Canon 5D Mark III.
Oh yeah, the Mark III. So Derek, my guy, talks about that all the time.
I was like, yo, they shot Iron Man with
They
this?
shot. He was talking about this just the other day. They shot Puffy, Hate Me Now, Biggie. They shot that with that same camera.
Really? See what I'm saying? So now I'm up here well, you wouldn't know unless you go study that. So now I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, they shot this with the Mark III? This the same camera I'm throwing about getting?
I got this. I'm
done. So I said, I'm going to get that. Now I already had, at the time, I had the Canon 7D. Okay. So I was just like, I'm upgrading. Right. I'm upgrading. I'm going to spend that $3,500 real quick. That's just the camera, by the way, at the time.
Yeah, you got to get the lens. So I just learned about all this stuff.
So,
the battery.
Right. Battery galore, memory cards. So now I'm just like, I said, but I want mine to come out crazy. I want it to be very clear. I went and spent another $2,200 on the lens. Right. So I was just like, now the clarity, it was crazy. Right. And at the time, for me being in New York and New Jersey, not too many people were shooting on that type of quality like that, unless you were professional already.
So now you got something.
I had a lane. Yeah. So I found my lane. I'm like, all right, I got a lane, and I already know I had my own style of filming. So I said, all right, I'm going to put my style to it, take everything that I've learned from this, put it to this, apply it to this, and just have my own style, period.
All right, so 18, you graduated. Then what?
Moved to Jersey, and then I didn't like Jersey at first, man. Because, Brooklyn is your home, Brooklyn my home, it's exciting. Stores are open all the time, so you move to Jersey, and stores are closed 9, 10 o'clock. Right. And I'm like, bro, the city is down and where I was at.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. I hated it. I was just like, bro, where am I at right now? And it was my mom idea to move there, and I was just like, dog. They was knocking our projects down, so we had to go. We was forced out. So now we just like, Jersey was cool, but then I started working at a sneaker store. I'm a sneakerhead. Okay. So I started working at a sneaker store for about 2 years in the mall, Woodbridge Mall, New Jersey. And that was cool. Even that, top salesman with sneakers. Like I had to be like that dude to constantly, like, I had people like appointments coming in for me to sell them sneakers, and it was dope, man. It was good times, man.
Were you being competitive with yourself, or were you being competitive against the people around you?
Both, because I wanted to see how much I could push for me. Oh, can I beat my last number I did last week? Can I beat this number I did before? Can I sell this many shoes? Can I sell this many Jordans today? Can I sell this many Air Maxes today? You know what I'm saying? That's what.
Anybody else in your vicinity at the time like that?
Yes, my man EJ. He just reached out to me last week. I haven't spoken to EJ in years. He reached out to me last week. What up, EJ? But me and him was number 1 and 2 all the time. 1 and 2. He's a sneakerhead, and he was just, we knew it all the time, and top of each other. Where you at for the day? Oh, damn. I'm behind you by what? 500? All right, I got to catch up. Like, so it was fun, though. Yeah. Friendly competition just to see where we at, man.
You had that pusher, though.
Had to push. But it was fun, man. And then after that, while I was working at the sneaker store, my sister was working at a car dealership. And she was like, you need to come down here. And the car dealership was actually around the corner from the mall. So it was perfect. Right. So I was just like, look, I don't know nothing about selling no cars. I don't want to sell no cars. I'm good. And she was just like, she'd been on my ass. And she was like, you need to come here because they making $3,000-$4,000 a week. I was just like, what? I was like, selling cars? So I caught the last tail end of the car industry when it was like booming. Oh, man. So when I went up in there, so now I'm doing both jobs. I'm selling cars. I'm always multiple jobs. I get that from my dad. He always had multiple jobs. So I'm selling cars and I'm working at the sneaker store. And I'm like, all right. Deep down inside, I don't need the sneaker store shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, now
it's losing you.
Right, it's losing me money. And it took another dude that was there. He came to me. He was like, I changed my clothes to go to the sneaker store. He was like, what are you doing, man? I was like, I'm about to go to my other job. Right. And he like, for what? I was just like, make some money. He's like, yo, Sheen, think about it. You got to work 4 hours over there, 4 or 5 hours? I'm like, yeah. He said, if you go over there and work 4 or 5 hours, you're going to make $50, $60. Right. If that, I was just like, yeah, about. He said, if you stay here and sell one car, you could possibly make $1,000. Why would you go there? Right. And I was like, fuck.
Let's switch some stuff up in your brain.
Quick, real fast. So that day, I still went to work because I told him I was coming in. Right. I quit that day. I ain't going to front. So I sat up there. I'm sitting up there leaning on the wall, right? Not even leaning. I'm standing by the wall. And the manager at the time, she knew I had I worked at the car district. I was making money, so I would come in. And I put my boy EJ on. He was selling cars there too. So then he was, we coming in with $2,000-$3,000 checks, buying mad sneakers. We buying 5-6 pair at a time. Yeah, let's get this. I ain't had no bills. Let me get this, and that, and we all get it for a discounted rate. I kind of figured she probably was a little salty because we was doing that. Now we making more than the managers there. You know what I'm saying? They older. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget. She was like, "Get off the wall." I'm like, "I'm not even on the wall. What are you talking about? There's no one in the store. Like, we're about to close. There's no one in the store. Why are you tripping right now?" "I don't care. If I told you to do it, you're going to do it and get up." I said, "Yeah, I quit. I'm done. I don't really need this. Thanks. I needed that." Right. And after that, man, good money.
All right, so then you got the car joint. How long were you there?
Shit, I sold cars for 14 years, bro.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you was like, yeah, let me go ahead and milk this one.
But at that particular dealership, I was there for about 10 years.
Gotcha.
10 years. That was a fun place to work. Yeah, so I made a lot of money there, man. A lot of money.
What were you driving at the time?
When I first started there, I had a Corolla, a 98 Corolla when I first started. That my brother-in-law, he let me hold down because I didn't have a car at the time. I used to walk that joint. Right. So I used to take the bus and then walk like 2 miles to get to the mall because by the time you got off one bus, you had to wait a whole another hour for the next bus. Okay. So I said, instead of waiting an hour, I'm just going to walk and I'll get it out the way. And then I got me a Maxima as the money started to come in.
What year Maxima?
A 2000.
Yo, 2000 was the...
2000.
Like that 2000.
Nothing.
Match,
I had a champagne 2000.
I was in high school then. I was in, so I graduated in 01. So I was...
Graduated same year.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, when that 2000 Max came out.
Stupid.
It was like when the 95 Air Maxes came
out.
It just changed
the game.
And everybody was like, Honda was looking like, all these other, so yeah. I
2000 Max.
What color was it?
Gold, champagne color, and I put the rims on it, tinted it out. I was fly. I was just like, chilling, dog. And as time went on, it got good. So now I'm out here living like a hustler, like a rapper. And I was smart with the game. So now I'm buying and selling cars outside of work. So I'm on Craigslist, looking up cars. Now I know the game. So now I'm buying cars. I'm looking up Craigslist, negotiating with people on Craigslist for cars. Now I'm buying them for me, keeping them at my house, or I keep them on a parking lot, and I sell them. So now I'm eating. So I'm making over 100,000 here. Right. I'm making money in the street. I'm still doing, at the time I was doing photography, but I was eating. Right. I look up, I had 6 cars, bro, that I owned. So nice cars too. So I'm like, I'm tripping. I would switch up cars all the time. I was like, people used to think I was selling drugs in my neighborhood. I'm just like, nah, man, I just work hard, bro. I can't just be a young black man working hard. But yeah, it was good times, man.
So what really transitioned you into photography and video?
My crew, the Diamond Boys, they are the reason. I'm not gonna front. I was always doing photos here and there, but I would use like the little disposable cameras and stuff. I didn't take it serious. But I started taking it serious in like 2012, photography. Video was 2010. And like I said, once we was on set at other people's music videos, I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. So then I started to, like I said, study it out. And 2012 was where a lot of things picked up. That's when I quit my job. So I quit. And
that's when you quit the
dealership, yeah. And I was like, I'm going to pursue this music thing. Because every show we're doing, I would work all day and then perform at night, multiple spots. And then whatever the case, we'd be travel around New York City doing the thing. And it just got to the point I said, I'm curious. I got to see where this leads me. I I wasn't even doing video like that at the time. I was doing a couple videos here and there. And once I quit in 2012, I said, oh yeah, okay. I got time on my hands. So now I could study more. I could go invest more. And I'm going to try to make it work.
You got to stack some bread, buddy.
I stacked some bread. So I was good, right. You got to stack the calculator.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So calculated risk. So I already had the money set to the side. And I knew I could manage this as long as I can. And what came with that, this is why I say you got to do what you love and your path is going to open up the way it's going to open up. opportunity came up as soon as I quit, a month later. Oh, somebody wants you on their tour. I'm like, what? I'm not touring nobody. Fear kicking in of me traveling. So I'm just like, nah, I'm good. My boy, my best friend, Travis, man, Pone, he was like, you good? This my dude since birth. He was like, you good? What you talking about? I was just like, yeah, I'm good, man. We ain't gotta go travel nowhere, man. We out here doing our thing out here. He was like, he's just like,
what's wrong?
Yeah, why not? Are you crazy?
Right.
He said, bro, just try it, man. You got nothing to lose. Try it.
Right.
I was like, all right, man. I had a baby on the way. So I'm like, I don't know. I want to leave.
How old then?
This is 2012, so I'm 29 at the time.
First baby?
Second.
All right.
That's 29, 2012, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, damn, shit. So I'm just like, so I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, you know what? Got baby on the way. I'm making excuses for myself. And then he was just like, nah, dog, come on, you gotta try. We ain't gonna be there that long. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. Man, came out one of the best decisions of my life, man. Because now we traveling state to state, performing, meeting people, different cultures, and our experience was dope because we really didn't have no beef on the road with nobody. It was just fun after fun after fun. And now, since I'm doing that, people are booking me to do videos for them in all these states. I got business cards, I got flyers. I'm leaving them at every venue. Boom, hey, music photographer, videographer, you need to.
That's another bar.
You know what I'm saying? So every venue, I'm dropping flyers and business cards. Right. So as time go along, now I'm getting called to come back. They flying me out to do a music video. They flying me here, or take the bus here, or drive here, pay me gas, and to do this, to do that. Right. And it just happened to open up. Oh, I really love. And now I have a big passion for music. For shooting video. So that's how that started. The passion for video really kicked in like 2012, bro. Because now I got to film my own venues. I got to do this, and it worked out.
So how did you get to Raleigh? And when?
Well, I'm familiar with North Carolina. My parents were from North Carolina. Okay. Both of them. Say from two country towns, Ahoskie and Coleraine.
Okay, I know.
Coleraine, which is a town over. It's like a town or two over. It's right there. Yeah, same area. So crazy part is they met in Brooklyn, and just so happened, it's wild. They knew the same people, just worked out. So I'm familiar coming down, not to Raleigh, but coming to the country all the time. And I remember in 2007, I knew the market was kind of like hurting with houses and stuff, because that's when the recession was about to hit.
Yeah.
I never took a plane before in 2007. That was the year of change. Do action. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. Action. You want something different? Action. Never took a plane before. Fuck it. Booking a flight. Where I'm going? Charlotte. Never been to Charlotte before. All right. Took the plane by myself, dolo. Just pulled up in the city. Let me see what's happening out here. I knew I had a friend. She was out there, so she showed me around. Houses was cheap as fuck. I was like, oh my God, I gotta come out here. So I'm house shopping. Come back telling my parents, like, yo, you need to move back to North Carolina. We gotta go down here. Yo, the house is going crazy cheap right now. Right. They didn't hear me at first. But then I came back that same year, like later on. My mom don't fly, so we had to drive all the way down. 10 hours, you know what I'm saying? But they loved it. And this was 2007. So my plan was to come down here first to expand. But then my mom and dad flipped the script, and they was the first ones to come back in 2012. So 2012, they came back to North Carolina, and then my sisters came, and then I came. But it helped me in a way because now they're living in Raleigh. They didn't go to Charlotte. They decided they wanted to be closer to New York and New Jersey. And nobody spoke about Raleigh before. So now they're the first ones down here to be in Raleigh. Houses were still going good. And as I come back and forth, checking, visiting my parents, I'm checking out the city. I'm like, this place is about to be something. And this 2012, I seen it, and I felt it. And I was like, this place is about to be something. So I said, you know what, I may move down here eventually. And this is the perfect place for me. I can get more for my money. I'm in the middle of Atlanta and New York. I can go both places. If I have to drive, it's 6 hours either way. You know what I'm saying? So I can move however I need to move, and I can start fresh right here in this area. And I think the city is just dope. Pretty
It's
dope.
crazy how even like two different people, me and you, like we view certain things differently by the way we grew up and where we're from. Because you're from New York, I'm from Maysville, North Carolina, which is right next to Jacksonville.
I heard of Maysville before.
Maysville's
Never
a
been there.
one-stoplight town.
Wow.
So to this day.
Wow.
So when I grew up, Raleigh was New York to us.
I can see that.
Like when we came, it was like, yeah, we going on a field trip to Peace College. I remember I was in Tar Heel Junior Historian Club. And the first year I was like the treasurer, and then I was the vice president. But you take a trip for the weekend, we come up to Raleigh, and I remember it was like the biggest thing
Crazy.
ever, because like, yo, we going to Raleigh
Right.
to a Hurricanes game.
Right.
And you thought,
Right, it's the
New
city.
York, you know what I mean? And so in 07, 08, I was living here. I had been here for a few years at that point, post-college. And I wasn't seeing what Raleigh was going to be. I was broke. You know what I mean? I was working security gigs for $8 an hour.
Wow.
But was working 100 hours a week.
Jesus
So I could have,
Christ.
a couple $1,000 or whatever. But it's just crazy because I'm thinking now where my mind is with this city and other cities, and I can see things like that. But back then, as you're talking, I'm like, I wouldn't even.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm still playing video games.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a hooper, so I'm hooping every day. And there was nothing in me that told me, like, yo, you're in a hotbed, like, something's about to happen in this city. And so I'm, like, just thinking about that, like, man, like, just what you're exposed to and what you're around is such a huge factor in
Big
your
time.
life, man.
Big time. I think, and I say like all the time, man, atmosphere is important, man. Atmosphere, because you never know like what you can create out of the atmosphere. And it's important. Like even like when I was doing music, I wasn't the type that if everybody in there smoking and drinking, I'm not gonna record. Because I want everybody to be, I don't mind a drink or two, but when we're putting like, I think like art together, you should be at like your dopest form. You know what I mean? So it can show, it can display on everything that you do. Now, I don't take it away from people that do, if they smoke or drink, whatever the case may be. If that's your element, that's your element. Do what you got to do. But for me, when I'm like doing music and stuff, I want to be like focused. So I make sure my words ain't slurred. I'm saying everything I'm saying is clear and stuff like that.
I get it. Because in the show, in the contracts with the poets, we don't allow them to drink, smoke, anything until after their last performance.
Exactly.
And so, I've seen that go awry.
Yo, me too.
Shows.
Look, I had a bad experience. So I'll never forget, I did that one time. We had an interview in New York, in Queens.
You had an interview?
I had an interview, and I was like, I never do this. Right? So me and my boys, we're like, yeah, we're going to turn up. We got mad bottles, yo. We starting to catch traction. So we feeling ourselves. Oh, bottles, great goose, this, da. Yo, we went up on this interview and bombed. Like when I say bombed, noticeably. I'd held it down. For me being lit, I still held it down. A lot of people's in the comments like, yo, boy, killing it, blah, blah, blah. But I felt like I wasn't at my top. I knew I wasn't at my top because I was like looking crazy. I was like, never again. I don't know how people could do it. Never again I'm coming up on anything lit.
I remember I smoked one time because I remember a lot of the guys that I was around growing up, everybody hooping, and they would go to the side, they get high as a kite, smoke half a joint, come back, and they killing it. My homeboy Omar, like, yo, I promise you, he from Connecticut, him and his brothers. I forget what part of Connecticut, but when they came down to where we lived at, because our area is so small, everybody, you know every single person. Like at my high school, there was nobody that ever walked by you didn't know who they were, like ever.
Small town.
So when they came in, it was the three brothers and their sister, and they got the locks. You know what I'm saying? They looked different than everybody. But I remember they all hooped, but Omar, we called him Dirt. Dirt was like crazy. He used to have Timbs on concrete, full court jeans, a t-shirt. He'd go smoke half a blunt and come in. He gonna dunk on him. Like
that's the element.
Crazy. So I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like Dirt can do it.
I can do it too. Nah, man.
You know, I got me a little. Let me get a couple. Man, somebody threw me the ball, smacked me dead.
Banga. Yep. Can't do it.
That ain't my life.
That can't do it.
In my lane. To this
Can't
day, I
do it.
don't drink, I don't smoke.
I drink. I drink. I'm definitely gonna have a drink.
I take a shot maybe twice a year, like my birthday sometimes, and then like certain shows. Like we have our show in November, I'm definitely gonna take a shot because it's been 2 years. You know?
Yeah, man.
But that's it, one shot.
That's fine. That's fine, man. But I know I'm a sip. I'm a sip, man. I like a good, nice drink, man. I don't
drink?
Everything.
Everything. White, brown, all of it.
All of it. But right now, wine too. Right now when I'm on that, I like 1800 a lot right now. The coconut 1800.
Okay.
I'll be mixing that up. I think I had some of that like 2 days ago. But I'll be mixing it up and putting things together, man. That just be hitting. But I don't drink all the time though. I drink like on occasions.
Right,
like
but you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so you get down here to Raleigh. Everything transitions. You're like, okay, the city's gonna kind of perk up. You know
right.
What I'm saying? And so then immediately you start working in videography and photography, or how
as soon as I got down here with the game plan running. I'm like, I bet I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna just be out because I don't know nobody. Right. So I have to be out here and mingle with a lot of people and business cards galore. And I ain't gonna front, when I got down here, it was a struggle. I kind of cleared out my account to move down here, and I was just like, this gotta work. This gotta work. I was in a relationship at a time. Relationship didn't go nowhere. That lasted about a year after being down here. So now I'm like, damn, what I'm gonna do? I'm like, I really don't got nobody now, but I got my parents or whatever the case may be. But mingling, man, just being out on the town, and I used to come to City Soul.
Okay.
And
City Soul got so much roots for people that are doing things.
Yeah, and that's one of the first places, because I like telling people the story all the time, because I met Michi the day I moved here. Okay. And it was so weird because I unloaded all my stuff. Right. I was living in Briar Creek. Loaded all my stuff. I'm tired, beat, right? Driving around. I got to take the truck back, U-Haul truck. I take the U-Haul truck back. I'm tired, bro. I'm like, bro, I got to find something to eat. So I see Little Caesars and whatever. I'm like, I don't even eat Little Caesars like that. I pull up in Little Caesars. Michi's there. But at the time, I'm not knowing who she is. Just she was dressed down. As I'm looking at her, I'm like,
which is rare.
Very rare. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh, you must be in the fashion. And she was like, how you know? I was just like, I can tell, I'm a photographer. I'm watching you, how you stand, and how your clothes are put on, whatever the case may be. So we talking as we're waiting for pizza, right? This is in Mini City. So we're talking as we're waiting for pizza. So I'm like, girl, what's your IG? And as I look at the IG, we was already talking for almost 2 years on Instagram. Never met each other, ever. And all we did was just talk about, she'll compliment my photography, I compliment her clothes, and we'll say, hey, we're going to shoot one day, and you end up being the first person I met here when I moved here. So now, she plugging me in, yo, let's go here. And
City Soul was one of the spots.
City Soul was one of the spots. So that's where I met a lot of, that's where I met Crystal. That's where I met a lot of people at City Soul. So I was just like, yeah, this is dope. I'm already into poetry too. So, I was just like, this was just official. The vibe was dope when I walked in there. And it just worked out. And then from there on out, I was like, okay, I see what Raleigh is all about. Not a lot of, when I say, how can I put it? Like, the culture is different from up top. But I already knew that. I know down here they support each other a little bit more.
And I hear that a lot.
That's a fact.
That's
a fact.
He's from Philly, but he lived out in Cincinnati now, but he came through for one of the erotic shows that we had Body of Work. He came through one of those weekends. We had the house party, all that stuff we do. And he was just like, yo, like, they show so much love down here. And I'm like, yeah, people support. He's like, yo, it ain't like that up there. Like,
at all.
You might get a few people, what I'm saying, people, but he was like, it's crazy. Like, you had 150 people at your house, like, and no problems. Everybody
no
chilling,
issues.
They drinking, they smoking, they eating, what I'm saying?
Vibing.
He was, and then it's like, then I go to the show, and it's the same thing. He's like, yo, everybody coming up, dap you up.
Genuine fun.
It's crazy. And that goes right back to environment. Like I wonder how my life would be had I grew up somewhere else.
Yeah, I think about that often too.
Man,
I think about what if I grew up in California?
right.
You know what I'm saying? What if I grew up in Atlanta?
Laid back.
Yo, super laid back, super laid back. I went to Cali the first time in my life this year.
Okay, and I remember when you was posting.
That was lit. It was lit.
What part you go to?
I was in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
I was in Inglewood. I was in, where else did I go? Yeah, just Los Angeles.
Gotcha.
That was it. But I was out there shooting and filming.
Right.
But when I say that was a lit experience, bro, stupid lit.
It's environment, man. That's experiences. That's crazy. All right, so you meet Michi. Y'all run into each other, figure out y'all, man, exchanging messages and compliments and everything online. City Soul, you start meeting a bunch of people, and then from there you just start shooting. So at that point in time with your videography, did you already have know what your style of videography was gonna be?
Oh, videography, I had my style already. Photography, I didn't. Photography, I was just shooting at the time. And what I would do, because I like going to City Soul, so I would just go in there and shoot for free. I'm just shooting. Y'all dope, so I'm just gonna shoot y'all. Just capture the dopeness. Y'all just be dope. I'm just gonna be here and just shoot because I love to do this. You know what I'm saying? I would take pictures and just post them, give it to them. Hey, these are pictures from the night. Y'all do what y'all want to do with it. That's it. But you love to do it. You know what I'm saying? When you love to do it, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I remember a couple times trying to offer you something. I'm good, bro. No, I'm good. We good. I'm just taking the pictures.
I seen you.
Right, y'all good, man. It's for the culture. Right, that's it. Follow me. You good. Follow me, we straight. But that's how I met a lot of people. And I feel like I miss going there, man. But I be booked most of the time, and I can't get there now, especially nowadays that they like 2 hours or something. They only a certain amount of people can come in there. It's crazy.
They once a month right now, but I think with everything
Wow.
going up, it should get back going. You know, Noir shut down.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Noir, they sold Noir.
Wow.
Now it's about to open up Tweets or Teaks or something.
Wow.
You know, they kind of whitewashing everything. So
How'd that
now
go?
right now to transfer food hall.
Wow.
So they got the ballroom there, but it's only once a month right now until further notice.
Wow.
But it's a good crowd. People been coming.
Always been, man.
And you got those different mixture of people and all that stuff.
Yep.
So it's been dope since they've been on the start back. But so all right, so you had your style with videography, and I've noticed like a lot of some of your pictures and also video. Like if I see it, I see the blues,
right.
the reds, like
Right.
I know, that's El Dattio.
I gotta play with them colors, man, because I like colors a lot, real vivid colors. And I started really tapping in. And this is what I'm saying, the levels. Like last year, 2020 was the year I was like, all right, I got time on my hand.
Right.
I need to tap into photography a little bit more. Because I always felt my photography was good, but it wasn't top notch. I said, so I used to question myself. As soon as the pandemic started, what can I do to take my photography for the next level? And all I did was study. The crazy part is I had all the equipment. It was just little tweaking, little here and there, little tweaking here and that. Add this to it, and your pictures come out completely different.
Right.
And now I'm doing that, and it's like, I've been in this year, it's what, May? Already 16 magazines already, this year. From work that I was doing from 2020. So now they just now, snatching up. I'm like, yo, some people, this wasn't the plan. I just put my pictures out there. I put them up there. If y'all snatch them, y'all snatch them. Don't, you don't. I just love doing this. But 16 already this year, man. 16 magazines, man.
That's crazy. So how does that process work? Like as far as if somebody sees a picture of yours and they want it in a magazine.
Right.
They reach out.
And what they tell you, you got to have it in a certain format, permission to also share it, and then just go from there.
Got you. So then y'all is it always a situation where you're paid for it? Is it sometimes?
Well, I get paid to do the photo shoots. Now, some shoots I do off the strength of me, because let's say if I have an idea, I'll call the model up. Hey, I got a model. The shoot is on me. Because I got
do it and then somebody see it.
Right. Right. Yeah. So I have an idea, certain models like Rainique. Okay. I worked with her, and it's crazy, so crazy, man. Shout out to Rainique, man.
It's crazy.
Because, yo, I've known Rainique for probably a few years when I got here. Like a year after I got here, I think that's when I met her. And we would always say hi.
What year again?
2016. So she got here, I think, 2017.
Right. And see, I didn't know Rainique until 2018.
Right. So it's probably around the same time.
Okay.
2017, 2018. And we would just say hi all the time. Hey, what up, blah, 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 blah. Follow each other online. And she always used to tell me, yo, when we shooting? When we shooting? I got you. The time is right. I got you. Because I already knew just seeing her around, she was extra bubbly. Yeah. And I was like, she's going to have that perfect energy when it's time. Right. But I'm glad I waited because I studied. Now, when I got everything together, I was like, I'm ready now. Right. So I hit her, you ready?
Exactly what you want to do.
I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I was just like, look, you ready? She was like, about time. She was like, I was starting to feel away. And I was just like, right. I was like, I got you. It just took some time. But we messed it up in 2020, dog. We did so many dope shoots, man. Like, oh, man. With the George Floyd joint, like, and shout out to her mother, too, because her mother pulled up and helped us out just off the strength because she was like, she was curious. Very dope. And I was just like, Mom Dukes was just like, she seen the vision. She was like, I'm curious to see what's going on here. What you gonna do? And we was in the middle of the street, right downtown. Lit the newspaper on fire right after the protest. Boom. We got people watching us. Like, we was like, they didn't know what we was doing. But the picture came out so dope, man. It captured the moment. Even like when she was standing with the fist up, people thought I like tweaked the sky. I said, nah, that was the sky at the moment. That's why I had to capture that. I was just like, the sky looked like it was on fire. Had to capture it. And she was ready. I was like, oh. She was like, what? I was like, the sky, stand right here. Now. Put your fist up. I said, because now I seen the sun was setting. So I was like, hurry up, let me just get it real quick. Got it. We caught it, man. The sky changed like 3 colors in a matter of 10 minutes. It was beautiful. We caught it. And now that's in a magazine in France. It's crazy. Like, it's just things I'm not thinking, like, to happen is actually coming together right now. And it's pretty dope. And we're going to be doing some more work this year. But, like, certain themes, like, I wanted my photography to stand out the box. And, like, the pandemic helped in so many ways. So I had time to think. And I was just like, all right, how can I be different from all the photographers or videographers that's out here right now, or period, that's just out and about. Right. Let me do some themes. Let me do somebody jumping in the pool, splashing. Right. Like, Rainique was doing that for 3 hours. Wow. That takes dedication. She was flopping in a pool for 3 hours straight to get the one shot.
That's one thing about Rainique, man. I think a lot of people, just in general, whether they know Rainique or not, like, tap into, like, you gotta study, like you said, but then you gotta
study.
Have that dedication to like be like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm not putting out no half-ass stuff.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so just working with her myself, like I know Rainique from a producer standpoint, for me, she pushes me more than anybody
Facts.
else. Because most of the time I send a poem over to the artist and they'll go through it. They may be like, okay, ask me a couple questions, or Rainique's like, yo, I need a breakdown of this entire poem.
Correct.
Go along, and so literally, I'll have the poem, and then in red or some other color,
break it down.
Every single line, every single section, I'm breaking down what this meant, what this metaphor is, what this is. And so then she'll come back and be like, okay, I got it. Bet I'm about to start. And then next thing you know, 2 hours later, she's like, yo, I got half of it memorized. Like, she just
on it. On it.
And I think if people can tap into
that, man.
Study. If you add the study portion and then you add that work portion to it.
Because you already gonna have the it.
Right.
The it is in you.
Right.
Especially if you bad it like that, the it is in you and you tap into that.
Do you think everybody has the it?
No.
I don't either. and I hear a lot of people say, everybody has that. And I'd be like, yo, everybody, it's to me, it's impossible for everybody to have it.
Everybody's not meant to have it. And this is my saying, you either got it or you don't. Period.
You can't get it?
You can't get it. You could buy it, but it ain't gonna last. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. Because you could buy whatever, like you said, money, you could get anything you want. You got the cash. Right. The real's gonna last. Fake doesn't. So when you put on a fake phony facade, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, hey, I'm that dude, nah, eventually you won't get either called out or it's gonna show up that you're not that.
So if somebody doesn't have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they know they don't have it, what do?
Train. I say train to whatever you want to do, because I think a skill you could be taught a skill.
Right.
Talent is something that you automatically have. The gift that you were born with, you're gonna automatically have that. No matter where you go in this world, you're gonna have that. Right. So skill is something you're taught. So if you can, once again, you gotta want it. Whatever you want to do, I could get. All right, let's say if I wanted to paint, I didn't know how to paint. My man right here could teach me how to paint to a certain degree. But if it's not aligning up to the way I know how to draw, the way I write, or the way I stroke the pen or whatever, or stroke the paint, it's not going to come out as fire as his. But if he like, all right, cool, he taught me how to paint, but now you're teaching me how to film, I may know how to film better than I know how to paint. So you can always find the lane. It's just a matter of what lane you're going to stick with and tap into.
Gotcha.
But
that makes complete sense.
But you could be a generic person you could draw a basic stick figure. Right. You're still an artist. Right. You feel what I'm saying? It's something.
Like, yo, the way you did the left leg.
Oh, you know what I mean? You're still an artist at the end of the day. But look, you got the stick figure or you got this. Right. It's levels.
Right. There's definitely levels to it.
Still an artist.
Right.
It's just levels to it.
Right. Man, this has been, if nothing else, enlightening.
Yeah, man, it's dope.
One of the reasons I was like, yo, I really need to just sit down with people that I've, cross paths with.
Oh, yeah, man.
People that, I don't know, people that I do know.
Right.
Certain
learn something new.
Because then you learn something new, just about the person in general.
Right.
But then I get things personally to think about. So I'm like, man, like now I'm really sitting here like, yo, could I write a poem about how I would be if I had grew up in Brooklyn? You know what I'm saying? Like things like that start getting my wheels turning, and hopefully for the audience, I feel like people will be able to pull from that too. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, I asked you, who do you think you are? Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna ask you, who do you think you will be?
I think I'm just gonna be great. Period. No matter what I do, no matter what lane I go into, I think I'm just gonna be great in anything I do. Because I'm passionate about everything I do. Everything I do. I'm passionate about my children. I'm passionate about photography, videography, my shoes. I'm passionate about you know what I'm saying? I'm passionate about everything I do. So my key is just to be great at anything. Anything, man. Just push forward. Push your limits, because you don't know. You don't know. You never know until you push and try.
Man, can't close out no better than that. Y'all, appreciate y'all tapping in. See y'all next time.
Yes, sir.